I only ever wanted to be noticed because I wasn't noticed when I was a child by my parents or by my friends. I was the fattest kid in school. My parents were always so busy. They just never saw me.
Why are you different?
Me.
Personally.
I'm different because in the sense that so are you, and so's Harry, and so's everyone. But I'm also the same in that we share exactly the same universe, moment in space and time, DNA. The problem with a good life is it creates lazy, entitled, woke, bored, distracted nonsense.
So welcome back to the Next Level podcast. On today's episode, I was kindly invited down to Rob Moore's studio, the Disruptors podcast. So Rob has interviewed people such as Calvin Robinson, Andrew Tate, Chris Eubank, Nigel Farage, Matt Hancock, Stephen Bartlett, Katie Hopkins. The list is endless. On today's episode with Rob, we're discussing the 7 biggest scams that are going on in the world today. Make sure you stay tuned because it's definitely going to be one of the best episodes that you've ever listened to.
So we're trying to engineer our brand and our life in a way where we can get this massive content that we need or we want to go viral and dominate the world and make a difference, but in a way that doesn't have all the friction.
You like friction, though, don't you?
I like speed. I like speed more than friction. Yeah.
Well, as you know, that I like to talk about sort of meaningful. I like to ask meaningful questions. I'm going to say a quote that you said. I've paid a lot of therapists a lot of money to find out why I'm lonely. What's that lonely place for you?
Lonely place for me is not feeling useful and not being noticed in a way. So it's a bit weird because obviously everyone judges everyone and it's sort of always perceived to be really bad that you would do things to get noticed. But I only ever wanted to be noticed because I wasn't noticed when I was a child by my parents or by my friends. I was the fattest kid in school. My parents were always so busy. They just never saw me. Wasn't their fault. They were, but they had pubs and they were just, they literally had to 6 a.m. till 2 a.m. They're working split shifts and I'm upstairs in the cot or I'm upstairs in the flat on my own the whole time. Lonely as fuck. And then, I go to school and I get fat because I'm living in a pub and it's free Coke and free food. Because, mum didn't used to cook and we didn't used to sit down for meals. It was just like, just eat what you want from the pub. And so I got really fat. And so then at school, people didn't want to notice me or didn't want to pick me for sport. I was always picked last for sport, unless it was rugby. Give the ball to Rob.
He was a prop.
Yeah. So, So there's no place in the world that's lonely. I mean, just isolated in the middle of the desert might be, but I could be lonely anywhere. I could also feel very connected anywhere. So the lonely place for me is that emotional place whereby no one wants to know and everyone's ignoring you and they think you're fucking useless. And maybe that's why I do all of this stuff that I do and create all this content and make all this noise and buy all these cars and write all these books and buy all these watches and do all these TikToks and because it's not lonely there.
Has anyone ever called you useless before?
And add a few F's and C's on the end of that because kids can be cruel. Not my parents. My parents were not those kind of parents. But yeah, people at school. And when you're 12, 13, 14, 15 and you're getting into girls and your personality is really forming and you're going through changes and puberty, life's very confusing at that time. And all through that time, I felt like, by the way, it probably happened way more in my head than it did in reality. But yeah, so Yeah, not my parents, but definitely the fuckers at school. Where are you now, motherfuckers?
So I believe therapy is good for everyone, and everyone should at least try it. But in order to fix a problem, you've got to diagnose it. How did you know it was there?
Well, look, life happens. Shit happens every day. You're trying to run a company and, you know, people are calling off sick with mental health, and you're trying to recruit and the government are shutting the country down, and you're trying to get ahead and they're taking all the tax off you, and there's wars. You know, there's always conflict going on in the world. Micro level, macro, even the bees and the hornets are fucking fighting. There's just conflict everywhere. And that's clearly a part of nature, otherwise it wouldn't exist. So, for me, the way to overcome conflict is to grow, adapt, evolve, strengthen, you know, to react to all of this. But you can't do it on your own. And we almost think we can because we're naive or arrogant. But, you know, my dad was raised to never show any emotion. And you never questioned anything. And if you did, you got the fucking belt. And so I wouldn't say my dad raised me like that. He raised me the opposite. He gave me freedom. You know, we all show love in different ways. So he raised me in a loving but in a very repressed way. Never showed any emotion. And it seems to be either generational or certainly male to show strength and solidarity and to not show weakness. And that's fine if you're on the battlefield or you're fighting, but navigating the complexities of life and our mental health and everything else, it's actually weak, not strong. So I think it's very strong to admit you need help and very strong to be self-aware about areas. You know, no one's like, oh, you're so weak because you've got a personal trainer and you've got a nutritionist. But you know that you need help with your training and you know you need help with your diet. But if you need help with your emotions, you're fucking weak and pathetic. I just don't see it like that. Just see it like I want a personal trainer or, you know, an editor. I need a therapist to navigate the complexities of life and get people to help.
So I think it'd be a good exercise for everyone to do, and including yourself. Can you go back to the most challenging, I'm going to touch on some of the points you've made. Can you go back to the most challenging or emotionally challenging time when you was a boy? What would you say to that boy now to navigate your way through? Yeah,
so my therapist used to fucking do this to me all the time and I hated it.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. The most pain and the worst place in my life was in the showers after rugby. Because back then, you know, you play rugby in the freezing cold and you're given the kit. And when you're the fat fucker, it's always too fucking small. And the shirts are there and they, you know, because life was different then. And afterwards, you all went in the showers and it was cold and clinical. And all the fucking kids, I felt, you know, they're like waiting for me to get in the shower. And some of them were and some of them weren't. And, you know, blah, blah, blah. A lot of it was in my head. But yeah, that I used to do everything I could. Pull sickies, get changed really slow, go and wash my knees in the sink. You know, and anything I could to not be there. And my therapist said to me, you know, what would you say to him, that vulnerable boy? And I said, I'd just be so ashamed And that's how I felt. So I guess I didn't really have much compassion for myself. But of course, if that was if that was my son, I'd show him endless love. I'd probably want to knock out some of his friends as well. But so, yeah, I guess sometimes us men, high achievers, entrepreneurs, whatever you want to call it, we're not very compassionate towards ourselves. We're brutal to ourselves. And I get that we want to be successful and you have to be strong and you have to be a role model and life is hard and all that. I get all that. I was, not very good at that. And I think that a lot of men are struggling with that. There's a lot of lost men who are like really hard on themselves.
So what would you say to anyone that's navigating their way through that now?
Well, the first thing I would say is you've got to evaluate where you are. Because if you've been raised with love and support, and you're feeling like the world owes you a living, you need to wake the fuck up. You probably only need to have a few of those showers. But, if you're trying your best and you're doing what you can and you're not a victim, but shit's happened and you're suffering and you're beating yourself up, I would just say, work on your self-awareness. So, I don't know what success is, but if we want to navigate this journey with maximum speed and minimum friction and maximum opportunity, I think we've got to be really self-aware, which is, I know I'm a bag of emotions and I know there's so much going on in the world, but let's lay out what I am. On the one hand, I'm cruel, I'm lazy, I'm not very good at this, I'm fat and whatever. And on the other hand, I'm pretty smart, I've hustled, I've solved these problems and challenges, I'm educated. And become really self-aware. Because when you're self-aware, you realise that actually there's so much more about you than you think there is. And I was kind, I was good at getting on with people, I was a conflict avoider so I could entertain any situation, I was funny. I had all these traits as a young fat boy, but I couldn't see any of them. Because all I was focusing on was, what was beating myself up, what was shit about me. So that's what I would do. I would be very matter-of-factly self-aware and start giving yourself some fucking credit for the shit you've achieved in your life, and double down on that.
Just on that point, do you think that people tend to struggle, or what people tend to struggle with is thinking deeply, because there can be an unkind association with that, with those thoughts? Becoming self-aware.
Yeah, so no, I've never really thought of life like that. To me, thinking deeply is, I perceive that to be a really productive, useful, credible, commendable thing. It's what makes great podcasts. It's what creates great art. So no, I don't have any shame or any issues around that. I think where there might be this wrestling, because I ask a lot of very successful people on my podcast, especially the creative types, do you need pain to make great art? And we all go round the houses, and in the end, everyone says yes. Or you look at the great artists in anything, there's a load of pain in there. And I'm not just talking about painting. I'm talking about the sacrifices that people make in sport and the cost, the family cost, the security cost. So, no, I think deep thought, I think is a really good, healthy, necessary thing.
And you're the masterpiece.
Is that a generic or specific statement? Are you calling me a masterpiece, or are you saying we, the people, are a masterpiece?
The people, but would you say you're the masterpiece of your family?
I think I'm self-aware-ish, as much as, we're all struggling. in that I know what I'm good at and I know what I'm not. And I think I'm using my energy pretty productively to focus on what I'm good at. You know, my sister, for example, she's not an entrepreneur. She's got 2 great kids, a great husband, and she was always brilliant when we were younger. We'd go to caravan parks and go on holidays, and I wouldn't want to talk to anyone, even though I wanted to talk to people, and she'd just be there talking to everyone and opening up all these networks and groups, and she's fucking brilliant at that. And of course she struggles like we all do, and you know, she has some health issues and shit like that. So, you know, we're all a masterpiece we're all a potential masterpiece. You know, we are a potential cathedral of amazing art, or we're all a 10,000 piece jigsaw puzzle to be built. Yeah. But it's just a question of what we do. You know, do we throw all the pieces out like a fucking child? Do we dedicate our lives to painting the cathedrals and building the jigsaws? I think that really, that's what, we're all infinite masterpieces in our own right, in our own way. But are we building the jigsaws and painting the ceilings? Or are we acting like children and throwing our toys out of the pram?
So what makes you different? Why are you different?
Me?
Personally.
I'm different because I am a human, and all humans are different. I find it really fascinating that in some ways we're all exactly the same. Like, think about it. You know, you look at bees. They all look exactly the same. I bet within the bee world, they've all got different faces and personalities and everything else. And so, you know, we've all got the same genetics, like literally exactly the same genetics, except for one chromosome difference, the X and the Y. So we're all the same, but we're all totally different. And that's a bit of a paradox. It's kind of hard to get your head around. Yep. That we're all the same, but we're all so wildly different. So yeah, I am different in the sense that so are you, and so's Harry, and so's everyone. But I'm also the same in that we share exactly the same universe, moment in space and time, DNA. See, this is, in some ways, I think we need a bit of an awakening as a species. Because, like, I imagine people, mostly, would want to love their children and support and do the very best for them. We are all related in that, I don't know how long humanity has been going on, hundreds of thousands of years. What are the odds of the atoms and the energy and the planets and the universe and the speed of space and time and everything coinciding that we all exist together in these 90 years that we've got, or 80 years that we've got? So surely we should love everyone like our children, because we are the same. But we're not, we're completely fucking different as well. So it's, you know, I like to think I'm expressing myself in an individual way, and I'm becoming comfortable with expressing my uniqueness. But at the same time, I'm no better than you. I'm no fucking hero. Arnie's up there, and you know, the janitor's down there. No. We're all the fucking same. You know, my dad used to say the Queen needs a shit just like everybody else. You know, that's what he used to say. The Queen is the Queen. So yeah, I find that an interesting thing to explore. Yeah, we're all different and we're all the same.
Would you say you have to, I agree, by the way, would you say you have to work harder on being happy or unhappy?
Yeah. I think that the amazing thing about the universe, the world, is that there are no bounds and no limits. And this is something we don't understand about life. We've become very limited and myopic But I can take a knife and slash your fucking arm, and in 2 weeks your body has repaired itself. You can think something right now and it manifests in a material form in weeks or months. That's fucking amazing. Like, that gives me goosebumps to think of the infinite potential that we have in the world. So I think if we really understand the universe and how it works, we get out of our own way. And so this paradox of happiness and unhappiness and struggle subsides and is transcended. Because I don't really think happiness or unhappiness actually really matters. You know, we make it really important. It's really important to be happy. It's really important not to be unhappy. I think that the universe is a mirror in that it reflects back and gives us what we are. So all of that being said, there's much less friction in being happy than there is being unhappy, because the universe is a mirror and reflects back what you are. So if you go with the flow of the universe, it will give you more of this abundance. If you resist and fight the universe, it will give you all this friction, because it's trying to teach you. So there's way less friction in being happy than there is unhappy. But the greater question is, why is happiness even important?
Progression is more important, and I believe in happiness, and unhappiness is just emotion.
Yeah, my belief, being a humble little lemming in the world of Sim City, is that the purpose of life is to find the meaning of life and adapt to an ever-changing environment, which requires growth, which requires struggle. And the emotions are the reaction to the environment. So happiness, which by the way probably has about 65 different emotions within happiness, anywhere from contentment to arousal and all of the emotions. So it's quite a nuanced discussion. But happiness is a reaction to succeeding and growing within the environment. Unhappiness is a reaction to failing and being challenged in the environment. So the emotions are simply reactions to the environment. So the goal is to navigate the environment, in terms of a species and us surviving and evolving. So yeah, this is why all this fucking woke shit about the purpose of life is happiness is delusional. The problem, whatever the laws of nature are, or write them down or whatever, but there's cold reality over here, there's deluded fantasy over here. And to think that we can have all the good and none of the bad, i.e. all the heaven and none of the hell, is a deluded fantasy. And the irony of seeking the deluded fantasy of happiness is that you will always get the opposite in reaction. You will always get the pain.
So you've answered my next question. You believe there will be conflict then?
Well, the conflict is the oscillation between support and challenge. So, again, laws of nature. If you got big biceps, right? And you weren't born with big biceps. You might have had good genetics, but let's just be honest, you got some good biceps there. And you probably know that if you create conflict situations within your muscles, i.e. you fatigue them and you put them through stress, intelligent stress, you know there's going to be some progress. But you know that there's pain attached to the progress. You've got to go in the gym. You've got to have discipline. You've got to eat well. You've got to actually feel pain within the muscle. But then you know that you've also got to rest well and eat well, etc. But ultimately, you get the reward. But you don't get the reward by sitting there and you don't get big biceps being happy. You don't get big biceps without the stress and the conflict and the resistance in the muscle fiber. And I think that's how life is. Because if you think about happiness, it's a complete paradox. Because actually, how do you create the greatest sense of happiness? Overcoming the greatest challenge. Are you going to be happy sitting on your ass all day, those muscles rotting away because you just want to be happy? Or are you going to go to war and make shit happen and overcome real challenges? And what's the reward of that? Because for me, winning a fight or building a business or committing parts of your life to going to the gym, the feelings you get consistently way outweigh this lazy, entitled happiness that much of society seems to think is the purpose of life.
I mean, we will come on to that. But there's a lot of people, for which I don't understand, have a lack of motivation or they lose motivation. But what are your thoughts on that when they lose the motivation, whenever it be in a business or life, for example?
Okay.
I'll give my point on it in a minute, but I'll let you go.
Yeah. Motivation, I believe, is short-term, short bursts of enthusiasm. It's not deep and meaningful work. It's not discipline and focus. So there's motivation and then there's inspiration. So inspiration is having an inspired mission, knowing your purpose on this planet, having a very clear vision, and having vitality and energy and longevity in the pursuit of this meaningful mission. And that trumps and supersedes motivation every day of the week. Mm-hmm. Motivation isn't useless because, I can't be asked to go down the gym. Put some fucking heavy metal on then. Heavy metal gets me going down the gym. Or jump in the ice bath and, let's get motivated, or read a book or listen to a podcast. So motivation's all right. It's like these short charges that start things. But the problem is people are all they're not putting it in a straight line. If you daily put motivation into gym, in the end, you're going to get really good results. But people are like, oh, I'm motivated to lose weight. Oh, I'm motivated to go to the gym. Oh, I'm motivated to start a business. And they're spreading it so thin. So the energy just is so thin. Whereas motivation and inspiration and consistency over a long period of time, it's like a laser beam with so much energy put into a really straight line. So that would be what I think about motivation.
And how do we help more people become inspired rather than motivated? Yeah,
so I would ask yourself every single day, who am I and what am I supposed to do with my life? Where is my value? How am I unique? What's my mission? Because if you don't create meaning in your own life, other people are going to use you to deliver their meaning. Like I have a lot of meaning in my life. I'm writing a lot of books and I hire a lot of people to edit and research those books. Some of them are lost and they're earning £500 a month researching for me because I have a lot of meaning in my life and a lot of inspiration, vision, and I know where I'm going, and I'm going to pull all my resources together to make that happen. Including, if I can pay people 500 quid a month, I will, because I'm on a mission. So look, by the way, let's just make this really clear. I'm not judging anyone. Like, you need the janitor and you need the CEO. You need the £500 researcher and you need the person who, sells millions of copies of books. I'm just saying, if you want to be productive and effective and make money and go places, this is what you've got to do. You've got to create meaning and mission in your life. And then what you do is you pursue that meaning and that mission for your life, and you borrow all the resources that you can to do that.
And that would build confidence as well. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Because I can imagine back when you was that boy in that shower, you didn't have the clear vision that you've got now. So what was driving?
No, but I was young. And, I was going through the cycle of life, and, you find these things out as you navigate life. Although some people know what they want to be when they're 2, like Rory McIlroy. So, yeah, we're all on this different journey. To me, confidence it's a balance of actually doing some useful stuff so that you've got the proof behind you that you can do this, but also believing in who and what you are. Like if you went into, the octagon with no fight experience, challenging world champions, you're going to get battered. But you can have people who've sweat, blood and tears for 10 years. And some of them don't make the grade, and some of them are world champions. So there's this is what I've done to earn the stripes element. And there's also I can be and do and have anything I want. Yeah.
So what's driving your mission?
I want to help as many people on this planet get better financial education and knowledge. What's driving it is I think the world is in a really lost, confused place. I think humanity is at a crossroads in our evolution, whereby if we're not careful, we're going to die out very quickly. I think that the central banks and the governments and the food industry and the media, I think it's become too controlled by too few people. I think that the darker side of humanity is coming out, greed, corruption, power, etc. And I think people, myself being one of them, need to stand up and create some change and accountability. Shouldn't be that we've got these infinite resources and people are so poor and people are so broke. We don't need to tax the fuck out of people, poison the fuck out of people, drug the fuck out of people. It doesn't have to be this way, but it is this way, because this is where we're at in humanity. And then so on a species level, this is driving me. On a personal level, I chatted to someone, Calvin Robinson, who's a really big social media following, got cancelled by religion, by the Church of England. And he thinks that, we should be on a mission to serve God and love our neighbour. And just be. I couldn't disagree with him more. I think everything's fucking breaking and things need to be fixed. But that takes a lot of conflict, because the empire, the world empire has become too powerful, and empires rise and fall, and this empire needs breaking down. So that's on a wide level. On a personal level, I fucking love money. And, back to this Calvin Robinson, he said, well, because we live for eternity, we have so much time. I don't feel like that at all. I'm like, fucking hell, I've got 85 years. I've got a lot of fucking shit to do. He might be right. If we live for eternity, I should slow the fuck down. But I don't feel that that's the reality. I feel like we might live 85 or 90 years. We might live 100 years. And so I want to make the fucking best of it. Like, we got one go, one life. Make the best of it. So that drives me as well.
So you just touched on something in regarding to taxes. So, two of the biggest scams in the world, debt and tax. Talk me through that.
Yeah, so...
we're going to go through all of the ones that you've recently...
Well, yeah, I think I blurted out 7 on a podcast live, and yeah, it did quite well, because I think people feel the same. So, look, one of the paradoxes of life is that everything has duality of purpose. So duality of purpose is, you could use a hammer to hammer in a nail, build a house, pull out a nail. You could use a hammer to smash my skull in and go around causing carnage. So AI has the duality of purpose. A hammer has the duality of purpose, as does all humanity. And so debt is good and debt is bad. Taxes are good and taxes are bad. They have duality of purpose. So if you borrow money off the banks and you invest in real estate and assets and earn passive income and build up your good bank debt, you can get really rich. But if you allow our bloated empire to create money out of thin air and then lure you into borrowing it for a property and a car and a conservatory, and allow them to use debt to control you, where you're using it to buy depreciating liabilities and the banks are using you as a consumable, it's toxic and it's evil. So just like a hammer, debt's a pretty amazing tool, because essentially they can just make money out of nothing. Because that's, credit, money is fiction. It's just created out of nothing. There's no gold backed, there's no commodity backed. It's just, let's just swap pieces of paper around. And we make up many pieces of paper there are. Well, let's have 10 billion pieces of paper. And we're like, okay. And so then the banks that create all this debt, they need you to be able to make them money. Because people think naively that a bank is here to look after our money and safeguard us for pension and retirement. All the adverts on the TV, come into the bank, we care. Love, pension, insurance, life, safety. Fuck off. It's propaganda. The banks are a profit-making entity. They want, right, let's stick this needle in you in the form of getting you into debt. Let's give you student loans, mortgages, car loans. We'll tell you whatever you need to hear. We love you, we care for you, we're here for you. Let's stick it all in and get you addicted. And now, for the rest of your life, you're paying this back. All this free money. So they're sucking you dry on that arm. And then the other arm is taxes. And it's like, right, let's get you working. Let's charge you 50, 60, 70% tax. You keep working, sucking you dry. At the moment, most people are working for the government, because VAT is 20%. Income tax is 45% at the highest bracket, because we have stupid progressive taxes. 20% VAT, 45% income tax. You've got national insurance tax. What is it? 8, 9%. You've got pension contributions. You've got business rates. Corporation tax at 25. 20 off. 20 on and then off. 25 off, 40 off, 9 off, 3 off, 2 off, 1 off. So you're left with what? 45? Maybe 42% of what you earn.
At best.
Yeah, at best. And then what I do is I take that, imagine if you went down to the cinema and you bought 100 sweets, and then like, wait a minute, and they fucking nicked 58 of them. You're like, I paid for 100 sweets. Oh no, but 58 of them is our fee. You'd be like, you wankers. You'd feel scammed. So they get, So anyway, so you got your 42 units out of the 100 units that you used. Right, I need to buy some fuel. Well, there's fucking loads of tax put on the fuel. So I'm paying all this tax, I'm not left with a lot. And then I'm buying stuff which is all tax. So in fuel, there's 2 taxes. In obviously, the sin taxes cigarettes, alcohol, it's all tax. So I reckon at the moment, 70% of what you earn and what you buy is tax. And 30% max is for you. So let's just put this into context. You are working 7 hours out of 10. You are working 7 days out of 10 for the fucking government. Oh, and by the way, the roads are fucked. Crime is fucking rife. You know, it's just a fucking mess. It's a big scam.
Let's go.
It's a big scam, but it's also a very smart business. But it's smart business done in a morally corrupt way. And I would rather live a life where smart business is done in a more ethical and moral way. But this is the problem with humanity. We have duality of purpose.
So what's your thoughts on the police then? You mentioned crime.
Yeah, look, I mean, fucking hats off to anyone who wants to be a policeman. I mean, what a shit job that would be and what a hard job that would be. I always hat tip to military police, you know, fucking hard, proper work. Or I always do, because it's proper hard fucking work, which is under fucking paid, by the way. So people are always like, oh, well, you know, money and life isn't fair, and nurses and people aren't. It's the fucking government that run the military. It's the government that are paying the military. I pay my staff hundreds of thousands of fucking pounds. I pay my staff fairly. So nurses, paid by the public sector. Military, paid by the public sector. Important fucking jobs, paid really badly. So the system is fucking itself. If I started a business and I wanted to recruit military, I'm going to find the best people, train them well, and pay them well. Because I need to fucking keep them. If not, they fuck off and go and work for someone else. But the public sector, there's no competition. It's just a great big lazy monopoly. Sorry, what was the question?
You keep going, mate.
Yeah, what was the question?
I forgot to be honest, mate.
What was the question, Harry?
What are your thoughts on the police?
Oh, what are my thoughts on the police? I think it's hard fucking work and they should be paid much more, but there's no fucking money in the government. So there's a massive black hole. They're 30 trillion in debt. So the police are underfunded. You know, if there's more funding in the police, maybe we wouldn't have all the bullshit that's going on in the police. So there's no resources. So crime is basic, well, no, not all crime. And look, there's some bullshit going on in the police with, you know, rape and all that. And, you know, there needs to just be better policing of the police. Basically, the government need to know what their job is. So here's what a government should do. They should basically allow life to be and intervene when necessary. But at the moment, they're not intervening with all the rape in the police. They're not intervening where knife crime, basically theft is legal in London because 1 in 100 thefts turn into a conviction. So theft is legal and, you know, people are fucking raping people in the police because the government are doing fuck all. But they're locking us down. They're supporting the corporations. They're poisoning us with food. They're drugging us with drugs. So they're over-intervening with taxes and they're under-intervening with all of these really important services because they can print infinite money. Why do they even need taxes? Oh, well, the police is underfunded. Just print more. They don't have they don't have a fucking clue. So, yeah.
Do you think it'd be different if people understand the voting system and proportional representation?
That's a complicated question. Because, you know, many people believe that a lot of people are stupid. So, you know, you've got all of these ideologies, you know, like a democracy and proportional representation and whatever else. But, you know, too many cooks spoil the broth. And there's certainly a class and elitism where a lot of people think a lot of people are stupid. And actually, a lot of people aren't fit to perform certain functions. You wouldn't want certain people being your doctor or your nurse because they're not fit for those roles. So it's complicated because there's a lot of people who have an opinion who in that realm, their opinion isn't really that valid. And maybe they're a bit stupid. But then, of course, you've got the other side of that, which is the arrogant monopoly and the elitist class system, which controls everything and makes all the decisions. So it's pretty fucking complicated. I believe in a free, fair market, and I believe in a democracy of sorts. But you also need leadership, don't you? If everything you do, you have to ask 6.5 billion people to make a decision, nothing ever gets done. But what you need is accountability in the leadership roles. So we've got an imperfect system where we want some democracy, but we want some leadership. So let's keep that balanced. Because, by the way, we have no democracy in the UK. Because our political system is such that you have to be either one of two parties to get in. And then when that party is in, they can basically just do what they want. I mean, we had 3 fucking prime ministers in the space of 49 days. Johnson, Truss lasted 48 days. So Johnson goes out on day 1. Truss is in for 47, so she's out on day 48, and then Sunak is in on day 49. We didn't vote for any of those fuckers. I wasn't given a choice to vote for Liz Truss or Rishi Sunak. And here's the irony. Liz Truss is voted, and the fucking loser is voted in next because he fucking lost to. So,
what's your thoughts on that?
I think the system. I prefer the American political system. I prefer it when, in theory, anyone can run for president or prime minister, as long as we're doing meaningful and useful things. We're being useful to society. Yes, I believe minimum intervention and intervention when necessary. But we've got no intervention in the fucking police and everywhere else. And then we've got massive intervention when we shouldn't have it. So it's all backward and arse about face. It's a big fat clusterfuck. But then if it wasn't the case, I wouldn't be able to make a difference, with all my content. And, I want to help as many people on this planet get better financial education and knowledge. And to do that, they have to have a lack of financial education and knowledge. And the system's doing a fucking good job at not teaching people what they need to know. So I'm grateful.
It'd be worse if Labour got in, wouldn't it?
Well, I don't know. I mean, would it? I always used to think that, anyone who's entrepreneurial, free market, fucking hell, Labour being in, they'll just take it all off us. They won't let us do anything. But they're fucking taking it all off us anyway. Yeah. I can't even believe I'm saying this. I should be immediately cancelled for saying what I'm about to say. But I would actually embrace Labour coming in because we need a fucking change. I don't think Labour would tax us any more than the Conservatives are. We have a monopoly anyway. It's not really Labour, Conservative. I mean, it's all homogenised. It's like the banking system. It's basically one big fat cartel. It's a few massive corporations that own everything. Vanguard, BlackRock. And so we've got the illusion of all this competition and democracy. And, you go into your supermarket, look at all this choice. Yeah, that product's owned by Procter & Gamble, that's owned by Lever, that's Unilever, that's owned by Procter & Gamble, that's owned by Unilever, that's owned by Procter & Gamble, that's owned by Unilever. Who owns Procter & Gamble and Unilever? Oh, Vanguard and BlackRock. Who owns those? The Rothschilds. Oh! And so they're lacing, we've got all this illusion of choice in the supermarkets. Or let's buy some food because we need some food. Okay, let's eat this food. It's fucking full of sugar. Making us fat as fuck, poisoning us. Okay, right, we need to get better. What do? Oh, let's go and see a doctor. Let's peddle you some drugs. Who owns the drug companies? The same people who own the food companies. They're poisoning us in one hand and then they're medicating us in the other. Do you know the biggest company in Europe currently is a weight loss drug company? And I'm like, wait a minute. So the biggest companies in the world are food companies poisoning us. And then the biggest companies in the world are the drugs companies supposedly curing us. But wait a minute. Doesn't nature just tell us what to do? You know, walk, eat well, not too much, not too little, exercise. Do you know, in lockdown, Rishi Sunak was publicising this miracle weight loss drug. But we wouldn't need it if we weren't making our population obese. You know, you see those beach pictures from 1971 where everyone is slim. Oh, and by the way, right at a similar time when we had real money and a gold-backed currency system. Mm-hmm. And now we have fake money and a fiat currency system. And so basically, right, it's taken us hundreds of thousands of years to evolve. And now it's taken us about 40 years to fuck everything up that we've ever done. Like, we are, how fucking out crazy is it? How quick is it that we're just fucking everything up? No one should be obese. They don't need to be obese.
So how do we, as entrepreneurs, boost this economy? Because it is fucked.
Yeah, the economy is fucked. It's like it's like we've got a bucket and we're filling it with water and it's got a great big fucking hole in it and we're trying to put more water through it and the hole's just getting bigger. So this is complicated, this answer. I'm going to try and drill it down because people say to me, oh, Rob, you should get into politics. Fuck that. Because there's so much friction. I don't want the friction, I want the speed. And being an entrepreneur, you have more speed. Being in politics, you have more friction. I want to make a difference. I'm sure all politicians want to make a difference. But I want to make a difference with high speed and low friction. So, give me a magic wand. I am Rishi Sunak. I am the president. I am Donald Trump. I'm the prime minister. Right, let's get the fuck in. Let's pull the tax code out. Okay, oh, well, it's fucking 20,000 volumes. Right, let's burn that and let's fire 80% of you. Don't worry, we'll help reskill you. We'll give you some practical jobs. You can be a nurse. You know, you can go in the military. You know, don't worry, we'll look after you. We're going to look after you, but you know, we don't need fucking 200 of you to manage these 20,000 pages of the tax code. Let's burn that. We don't need complicated, progressive taxation. We have a flat 20% rate. So you're Mark Zuckerberg and you're earning 100 billion, you pay 20%, motherfucker. You're earning 10 grand a year as a barista, you pay 20%. How's that not fair? Because the problem is with the progressive tax system is it's ideological. But what's happening is people think that rich people are greedy. No. We need to look after the rich people. It's the super rich we need to go for. But the super rich are all owned by Vanguard and BlackRock. And so then all control, here's the politicians, all Punch and Judy, all fucking controlling them, whoop, hand up the arse. So you need to fucking, fuck this off, right? So, Amazon want to come and, we'll come to your country, we'll create thousands of jobs. No, you're actually coming to our country, creating thousands of shit jobs and ruining lots of good jobs. That's what's actually going on. So you're Amazon, no problem, you can come in, you pay 20% tax. Oh, but we know good accountants and solicitors. No, you want to come to our country, you pay 20% tax, not 4%. You can't come into our country and then fucking have your jurisdiction in Ireland. No. And by the way, I have no problem with entrepreneurs being entrepreneurial. But the thing is, no one would try and avoid all this tax if tax was fair. But they're trying to avoid it all because it's unfair. So, flat, everyone's paying 20%. billionaire, zeroer, which would immediately pump trillions of existing pounds and dollars into the economy. So then we need to deploy that wisely. So I'm thinking, right, welfare's high. So, right, welfare is important, by the way. I'm not one of these, like, everyone's lazy. So we need to look after the elderly. So that budget goes there. And we need to look after the ill and the injured. That budget goes there. But you 5 million fuckers gaming the system and taking the piss because we're so overstretched and under-resourced, I'm fucking watching you. So no, you're not claiming. No, you're not claiming. No, you're not claiming. But don't worry, because I'm going to give you a job. You can be a nurse. You can be in the police. And I'm going to pump this money into stopping everyone taking the piss. But instead of making them feel useless and like victims, I'm like, right, you're going to get that job. You're going to get that job. I'll back you. You can be an apprentice. Back in the day, you'd be a joiner and I'd be your apprentice. And, you would fund me learning the skill and you would help me. So all these people on the streets who are obese and lazy and entitled, I'm fucking coming for you, but I'm going to look after you and I'm going to educate you and I'm going to give you jobs and I'm going to work out where we need to improve infrastructure. And all of a sudden, people are like, fucking hell, this is all right, because if I work hard, I can make good money. So then they're more motivated to do that. And then I'm going to be like, right, if you want to come into the UK with your money, I'm going to give you good tax breaks. If you're an entrepreneur and you're working hard and you want to pump money into this society, I'm going to give you relief and move all the friction. I'm going to pull in all this overseas money. And instead of making all these people the Antichrist, I'm going to reward and celebrate them. And if you want to start a business, I'm going to support you. So I've got budget because I've got trillions, because I've taken it all off Amazon, Google and Facebook. So you want to start a business, all right, come into the office. What's your business? All right, good, here's a loan. We'll support you. And encourage more people to start more business, just like it used to be before Amazon and Google and Facebook all dumped these massive corporations onto our land, but we allowed it. That's what I'd do. In a nutshell, that's what I'd do. We'd be pushing, there'd be loads of regulation in the drugs industry. There's not enough regulation. So if you want to medicate me and prescribe me, that's hard. Because first, you've got to tell me to go and do 20,000 steps a day. Next, you've got to tell me to eat good food. Next, you've got to tell me to go down the gym. Next, you've got to tell me to go out and, for example, change your career and go and get quite a manual job and stay fit. Only until you've done all of that are you getting any pills off me. But it's like, pills. Fuck. I say this stuff and people get really upset. But is it not just common sense, all this?
Common sense is not common, as you well know. And then we've got this 7%, which I've actually seen on one of your podcasts, of the population that are disabled.
Yeah, well, we're killing ourselves. Look, of course there's going to be casualties of war, and there's going to be irregularities at birth, isn't there? There is naturally all of this. That's humanity. But that should be fucking 0.1% or 0.5%. But, a lot of the disability in the form of obesity, and all the drugs that we pump in. What was that fucking thalidomide? Fucking hell. I mean, we're pumping these drugs and it's making deformed babies. So we are creating, all of these essentially disabled people because, you're basically disabled when you're obese. But, obese, it's fucking difficult talking about weight and obesity and the duality of life. I used to be fat. I was fat because I drank too much Coke and I ate too much shit food. I wasn't fat because Mum had a thyroid issue. I wasn't fat because my mummy and daddy weren't nice to me. I was fat because I was eating too much shit and not exercising enough. And within 8 weeks, I reversed that and I'm not fat. So, what's the problem?
What would you say to the people that couldn't work? How would you help them? Because I know you want to help as many people as you can.
Yeah, I would say to anyone, try and find purpose in your life. And of course, you know, if you're disabled or highly dependent, that's difficult. I get that, but that's a very small number of people in reality, in terms of where it naturally occurs. Like my friend Mark Ormrod, triple amputee, fucking does jiu-jitsu, fucking does Invictus, swims the fucking channel. That shit, that guy is intensely inspiring. Triple amputee. So look, we need compassion and sympathy, but we also need a bit of reality. So if you literally have been thrown the worst dice that life can give, I have sympathy for you, and we're here to support you as a human race. But most people have the ability to take control of their lives, but they're not. And it's part of their own mentality, but also part of the propaganda of media. What's going on in the world?
So I'm going to try and keep your blood pressure down on this part.
This is all good.
Wokeism and entitlement.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, again, the duality of purpose of life is that, you know, the extreme right and the extreme left, they're useful and valuable to society, and they're also extreme weapons. So any extremes takes humanity out of balance. So in some ways, like, I think it's always important to come from a stance of personal responsibility, i.e., everything is my fault, everything is my responsibility. By the way, sometimes it's not your fault, and sometimes you're born in a shit place, and sometimes people are cruel as fuck, and sometimes life is really fucking hard. I know this. And some people do get a worse throw of the dice than others. That is the reality. I mean, anyone would call me a fucking entitled, privileged white male. They don't know my story, but you know, I know that environmentally I've had it easier than others. I know this. So, you know, that aside, if you can think, and if you can speak, and if you can walk, and if you can go to a library, and if you can log onto the internet, you can take control, and you can turn your life around, and you can take personal responsibility. So I think that's the framework upon which we build a successful life. Okay, so wokeism is a lack of personal responsibility. It's a blaming of everyone else, your parents, the government, the world. And so what I would say is, take some personal responsibility and evaluate if 78 genders are important, or getting to work and doing meaningful shit is important. Because in my view, getting more police and more doctors and more nurses and helping the military is far more important than how many fucking genders there are. So humanity has lost touch. But here's the thing. Always come from a place of personal responsibility, really important. But the wokeism movement, just like you might have a far right-wing movement at other times in revolution, we're a product of our environment. And in a way, so look, if there was a third world war, none of us would be sitting here doing podcasts and debating what genders we are. We'd all be out there fucking fighting for our lives. And so this is what, you know, I sometimes think your fucking grandparents fought for you. You know, you spoiled little fucker. But we don't know any different because we're just raised in the environment that we're in. So in a way, we're a victim of our own success because all of our grandfathers and grandmothers fought for the survival of humanity and went through such pain to create a good life. And so then we've created this good life. And the problem with a good life is it creates lazy, entitled, woke, bored, distracted nonsense. So what is going to happen is we are going to end up in war. There will be a third world war. There'll be a revolution. There'll be a falling of the empire. There will be, because, and this is the reaction to wokeism. But wokeism is the reaction to fighting and challenge, and this is why you see empires rise and fall. This is why nothing, if you think about the law of the universe, I like to think that the universe is the most rewarding thing that's in existence. But if you don't know the laws and you get in a car and you know how to drive it, that can be a useful thing. If you don't know how to work a car, you're just going to be fighting against it all the time. And the universe is like that. So if we understand how the universe works and work with it, I believe all the riches in life are available to us. If we don't understand how the universe works and we're fighting against it, I think you're always going to have this conflict and challenge. And this is what's going on. We don't understand the universe. We make this, like economic cycles. We make the same fucking mistakes every 17 years. But the reason we do that is because we don't learn well from our parents. Oh, my fucking parents always telling me what to do. I don't want to fucking know. They think they know best. And so we just repeat the same fucking mistakes, and so it just continues.
Give me your thoughts on Ukraine.
There always seems to be a need for war. And sometimes I think war is necessary because, we need to fight for our borders and boundaries, as a tribal species. And then sometimes I think that war is business and profit. And, if you have a skeptical view of life, you know that the weapons that Russia are using are made by the same people, the weapons that Ukraine are using. And the weapons that are made in America to defend America are sold, to the Middle East. And, the very powerful people know that war is good business. War is very good business, very profitable.
Same as like BP and Shell. Made a lot of money.
Yeah. I mean, the whole fucking oil and energy thing's another thing completely. So there's this paradox going on. Ideologically, you think there's no need for war, but war is a part of the cycle of life. Ideologically, I like to think that humans would live fighting when necessary and not fighting unnecessarily, but that's all blurred because of how warped society has become. Another thing I think I understand about war is only the people that are on the ground actually know. And, my Krav Maga teacher, he's fucking been on the ground. And a lot of innocent people are killed unnecessarily by our own troops, he says. And I think this is created by propaganda. Because if you're in America, then, the Far East are evil terrorists. If you're in the Far East, America are evil terrorists. And so I think a lot of war is propaganda. Because, in the West, you're almost led to believe that fucking hell, being in Russia and China, in that communist state, that'd be fucking hell. But I reckon that they're pumped the same narrative in reverse about the West, about the arrogance of America. So it's a long answer. That's what I think about war. I think it's unnecessary, but it's good business. And I think, here's something I understand, is that I don't really understand a lot. Like, one of the reasons I love these conversations and I love doing these podcasts is because, we're looking in each other's eyes and we're getting to know each other, and there's context and depth and there's no filter. You're not talking to him who's talking to him who's talking to me. We're not playing fucking Chinese whispers. But as soon as you put media in the way, what's really going on, filtered through media that's sent over to there, is all fucking propaganda, and it's all agenda and algorithms. And I actually think if we got rid of a lot of media, I like decentralisation. We can all have a podcast. We can all have a TikTok. We can all have a YouTube. We can all have an Instagram. I mean, I know the irony that they're all run by big corporations. But at least, fuck the BBC, because I don't believe you. I'm gonna go and listen to your podcast. And so it's a bit easier to get rid of the propaganda and get to the heart of what's really real. And I just think war is fucking business and propaganda.
So how will a decentralisation of media impact the future? Because the younger generations are not watching things like the BBC as they used to.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing. I think that mainstream media became too powerful. So then there's a revolution against mainstream media, which is social media. But then, of course, what happens is mainstream media buys up social media, and then social media becomes mainstream media. And so then you get Getter and Rumble and individual podcasters and Joe Rogan and people like us. And, we're fighting for freedom and decentralization. And then Spotify go, oh, Joe, we'll have you for 100 million. I wonder who was putting the money into Spotify. And, it's just this continual fucking struggle between globalization and decentralization. So decentralization is essentially a fight for freedom and a fight for humanity and a fight for morals and a fight for fairness and the dissemination of accurate information. That's what decentralization is. And centralization, we're led to believe it's efficiency, it's economies of scale, it's production, it's growth. But in reality, it's also power and control. But this is again, what's the point in a government? To control all of this shit. If we're all fucking looting and we're all decentralized and there are no rules, it's chaos. Mm-hmm. So there needs to be some intervention. But then if there's 4 fat cats running the world, it's the opposite. So there needs to be less intervention over here and more intervention over here, and the government don't have a fucking clue where to focus their time or resources or energy.
I would agree. And something that you touched on your live was mental health, which I talk about quite a bit as well. So you spoke about the people that are entitled, who take the piss, in my opinion. Then you've got someone like my friend and partner Ryan, who hasn't suffered with PTSD, someone that actually needs the help. What's your thoughts on people that really need the help, say from the military, or it could be anyone that needs help with mental health and people that are entitled?
Yeah, so the whole mental health, let's call it a movement, because it almost is, isn't it? Is duality of purpose. On the one hand, you've got all these woke people who are like, oh, I don't feel well today. I don't know what I'll do. I'll go to the doctor and tell him I'm having suicidal thoughts. I want to work 2 days a week from home. And fucking pulling sickies and taking the piss. And then you have real people, real men, fighting wars. And all the fucking resources are being sucked to all these woke people playing the card, and therefore there's often not enough resources for the people that need it. I've interviewed a lot of people. I mean, I interviewed Craig Harrison. Right? He had the world record for the longest snipe kill. In fact, I think American Sniper, that might have even been, the film might have been made based on him. He's very fucking hell. He had such chronic PTSD. He thought about killing himself every day. And he said there was just no support in the military whatsoever. There was no recognition of it. Now, it might be changing. I'm not here going slagging the military. I don't know. But that's what he felt. And this was a little while back. But there's the stigma, of being a man. Then there's also the resources and putting the resources in the right places. Mm-hmm. And this is why I'm passionate. If I ran this fucking country, I want more resources. I want these entities to be more private. And I want more resources and money going to them. So nurses can earn 80 grand a year. So, people in the military can get the help and support that they need. So, I mean, I've never been in the military. I'm not saying I fucking fully understand how it works. But a lot of the people that I've interviewed have. So I think the first thing is we need to know what strength is. And strength isn't just going to battle and fighting wars. Strength is asking for help. And strength is admitting that things are hard. And strength is, relying on your fellow man. Like I assume, with limited knowledge, in the military, you have to absolutely have faith in your team. You have to know that they're trained and that they've got your back. Mm-hmm. Well, surely it should be the same with your therapist, and your mental health advisors. You essentially need to build your core team. And it's not just your wingmen and your sniper, it's your therapist, and it's your dietitian, it's all of these. But there's so much ridiculous stigma. I don't even really know why. I think, I often... Okay, when we're fighting wars, you have to put on a strong front. You're fighting a fucking war. So I get why there needs to be that strength. But, society has evolved and we have a lot more information now and a lot more knowledge and a lot more resources. And therefore, we need to give the help and support that's needed. But we also need to take personal responsibility. I am not okay. I need to ask for help. And I said to Craig, why didn't you go and ask for help? Like, oh, well, you'll just be discharged. You'll get some shit pension. And there just wasn't... So there's the system that needs changing, but then, and then there's the personal responsibility element as well. It's nuanced and it's complicated. But, I have a fucking therapist. But, I have a video editor. I have a dietitian. I have a PT. What's the fucking difference? I have a therapist. My computers need maintenance. My brain needs maintenance. It's just, if you think about it on a practical level, it's just maintenance. But I think we get emotional and we judge.
I think going back to what you just said there, what my friend done, he was on my podcast, he actually tried to commit suicide only 8 months ago because he felt that he couldn't speak to anyone. And that is because there was no support. So it's interesting to get your view on that as well. He's only just recently come out, but it's hard from what he was telling me, he's tried 3 times to commit suicide. But it was the last attempt was 8 months ago because there wasn't that support there in the military. So it's very hard for people. Again, I've not been in myself, but it's when you're released, it's very hard for people when they come out because there's a lack of support.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine it is really hard when you come out. And there's also my mate Mark Ormrod, who's a triple amputee, who's out there, living life. All you can do is keep hustling. Mm-hmm. You meet people, how are you getting on? What's going on? How's life? All you can do is keep fucking hustling, keep swimming, keep pushing, keep hustling. If it gets hard, you get harder. If people aren't listening, you shout louder. If you are serving this country, you have a fucking right to get help. And if you are not being heard, you fucking shout louder. And if you're still not getting heard and you're getting ridiculed, you fucking shout louder. That's what I do. Not in the military, but in social media, I'll just keep shouting until things change. So, you know, I've got a lot of sympathy and a lot of love. But remember, the foundation of what I believe is that you come from a place of personal responsibility, whereby whatever you can control, you control. And whatever you can own, you own. And now, you know, there's a lot of good podcasts. There's a lot of ex-military coming out, and David Goggins and Jocko Willink and people like that, you know, have seen war and death. And they're coming out and, you know, they're hard men. And, you know, they're putting dialogue out there. So listen to some podcasts. You can always do something.
Yeah, no, I agree. And what are your thoughts on religion?
Fucking hell. What are my thoughts on religion? I think... Is there like a paragraph to this? Is that just a full stop?
No, there's a full stop. Because I know there's so many ways which you can take it.
Yeah, what are my thoughts on religion? I respect every single human being's right to believe what they want to believe. And I think that we're free, we're independent, and we should be. We should be allowed to think and believe. But I'm confused that there are hundreds, if not thousands, of religions, and they all claim that there's one true God. So Harry and I were doing the show, and we had Calvin Robinson on, basically been banished by the Church of England. He thinks the Church of England is dying. He thinks in 15 years it will be dead. But he's a real man of faith. And he's like, there is one true God. But what I don't understand is, if religion is absolute and there's one true God, how come there's 1,000 religions? So that confuses me. I think humans need guidance and something to hold on to and to navigate them through life. And so, as the ability to infinitely create, we create fantasies, heaven and hell, you know, gods and mere mortals. And so I think that religion is a human perception, which I believe we all have the right to have. Now, could it be that when we die, we maybe go to heaven and we maybe go to hell, or we maybe live eternal life and we may be judged on our actions and whether we sin or repent? I don't fucking know. And nor does any other fucker on the planet. Because that's the mystery of life. And I quite like that. Do I think when I die, I'm going to be at the gates and there's going to be a jury and there's a big old dude in a white beard who's either letting me into heaven or letting me into hell? Probably not. No, I don't think that's likely. I think what's more likely is I die and it is over.
There's so many ways in which I could have taken it, but that's why I'm glad I did it full stop.
Yeah. You know, like Calvin Robinson lives as a slow, elegant man. Mm-hmm. Like if he was a dog, he would be in Crufts. You know, he would be all manicured and elegant. I'm like the fucking Westie banging the tree, humping the tree. Because he believes that life is eternal and I believe we've got 90 years and we need to make the best of it. I don't fucking know who's right. I don't really care. So I think religion, creation, perception, the universe It's all a perception. You know, is it cold or is it hot? Are you right or are you wrong? Is this good or is this bad? That is all of that is subjective based on your individual perception. And so we're all seeing the universe through our own filters. And I think the creation and manifestation of religion is that human filter.
There's so much more I want to talk to you about social media. I'm conscious of your time.
I don't give a fuck. You
Yeah.
said, why are you here? And I said,
Yeah.
because you didn't get everything that you wanted to talk about in round one.
No, well, no, I'm more than happy to
So just check what the wife's...
You might not, but...
Look, I don't care.
So social media is obviously a big thing for people at the moment, and starting a business, becoming an entrepreneur, people want to do that. What's the easiest way to make money? Because people look up to you on social media right now, today.
Okay.
Because I'm often asked this question. I think it's a shit question.
Yeah, it is a shit question.
But
that was what I was going to say. Yeah.
Because I put a post out, and that was a question that I was asked to ask you. I'm not going to mention them.
No questions are shit questions, but that's a shit question. And that's just a question of someone.
It's actually on your group.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not judging or saying that it's your fault. Loads of people, I get asked all the time, what's the easiest way to make money and what's the quickest way to make money? They're the wrong questions. But that's part of the journey of learning how to make money, is figuring out what the good questions are. So the wrong questions are, what's the easiest way to make money? What's the quickest way to make money? The right questions are, what are good businesses to get in? And how can I make money for the long term? And how can I monetize what I know and what I do? So, in reality, the quickest way to make money is to honor in yourself the traits and qualities you already have that are useful. Commit to sharpening those skills that you already have, so there's minimum friction. And then create a product, a service, a brand or media around that. And then get to work and build the organization and navigate that journey. And it could be in AI, and it could be in video editing, and it could be in building a membership site, and it could be doing content on social media. It could be in martial arts and you end up building a global franchise. It could be in anything. But essentially people get confused about life. They think, live to work or work to live. But essentially what we're all doing is exchanging our time. So why don't we exchange our time around our strengths, doing things we find meaningful, because then at least we can turn our passion into our profession, and instead of working to live, we can actually live a life. So that's the real answer. But I also realize people, want some quick hits of what can I do. So I think content on social media, because X and Instagram and YouTube and all the channels are now offering quite good monetization rewards.
Is it quick though? For someone starting out?
Well, I mean, if you're 17 years old, yeah. I mean, look, everything that's meaningful needs to be built. And, they say it takes 10 years to be an overnight success, but that's not so true anymore. If you think 1,000 years ago, it probably took 50 years to become an overnight success because you didn't have any tools and resources. And, and then Steve Jobs in the 90s says it takes 10 years to become an overnight success. Look, let's be honest here. Yes, it takes work, but look at the infinite amount of resources we have, the internet, social media, AI. So actually, you have to be careful to not fall into get rich quick and not get distracted. But actually, yes, you can become quite wealthy quite quickly. You can become noticed quite quickly compared to, if you and I wanted to do a podcast in 1921, I'm sending you a letter on a horse, and you're sending me one back on a bird. It was fucking slow, and now everything is really fast. So there is opportunity and there is abundance, and you can get rich quicker, but you can't get rich quick. You can't cut the corners. You still have to put the hustle and the work in. So is social media quick if you're really good at something? And if you're useful and valuable, then it can be relatively quick compared to training to be a doctor, a dentist, a lawyer. And, apparently it takes a doctor something like 14 years to earn the same amount as a plumber. Because a plumber starts work age 18 and a doctor has to go and get a degree from 18 to 26. And I didn't really think of it like that. So you want to get rid of all the friction, which is university and all this politics that's going on. Get on social media, put content out there. Like building a membership site, I have rob.team, that's nearly 10,000 members. I have rob.team, rob.team gold. We have rob.team yearly, rob.team lifetime. I'm just doing content. Often you're doing content on Zoom on your laptop or content on your phone. And, getting a lot of people to pay £10 a month is not that hard anymore. I mean, getting a lot of people to pay £30 a month or £50 a month is harder, although Andrew Tate's doing very well at it. But anyone can go on social media and create content. Anyone can get that instant viral hit, because everyone's going viral now, but just everyone goes viral real quick and then irrelevant real quick. This is the problem we have. So it's like it's all faster. So anyone can do this. And if you're going to put content on social media, you're going to put yourself out there, you might as well cash in. So, I have a membership site called rob.team, and that gets pitched at the end of all my live videos. And like I said, that's grown in no time at all to nearly 10,000 members. And at £10 a month, you can do the maths. And then you get the add-on level and the add-on level. So information is fast. So being in the information business, being in the military is slow. Being in information is fast. Because information travels at, 256,000, whatever the speed of light is. I don't know. So being in information, which is social media, AI, things like that, membership sites, content. As a really solid job, by the way, do video editing. If you're 17 years old and you want to work your way up and you want to be an entrepreneur and own the company, you've got to start at the bottom. That's the way it works. So do some video editing on the side for people, short form video editing. We've been talking here for 2 hours. There could be a fucking 100 pieces of TikToks and Instagrams from this. We're getting pitched every day from young kids, who've got some hustle about them who want to do some video editing. That's a great way to start. And then from that, you build your own media agency. There's some good ways to make money.
So it's all well and good making it, but keeping it's completely different. How have you managed to keep yours?
Reinvest profits into assets that produce recurring income. Learning to manage my money well. So when you start, you've got to never spend more than you earn and save and work hard. But as you build momentum, what you're doing is moving lots of money around. So to stay wealthy, you remember what got you there, and all the profits that you make, hopefully it's abundant, you reinvest a portion of it back into assets. So I have 340 properties and I started with none. And, we bought our first nearly 20 in year one and nearly 30 in year two. And then in year three, we might refinance and pull some money out or draw rental income. And a third or a half of that goes back in to buy more property. Instead, what people do is they just make a bit of money and then spend it. And then make a bit of money and then spend it.
It's important for people to realise that you started with zero.
Yeah. Started with no properties, no knowledge, no money.
It wasn't your money either, was it?
No, I used other people's money, and my business partner, I didn't know he was rich. He didn't know I was broke, and that was convenient. And so we partnered up and joint ventured. You don't have to walk around telling everyone you're broke, and you don't have to walk around telling everyone you're rich. He's a private guy, so I didn't know he was rich until I got him really pissed and he told me he was rich, and I'm like, let's fucking go. He didn't know I was broke for many months. By then it was too late. We were in business together.
So obviously there's this perception of money being a taboo subject to talk about.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Money is a tool. Money has duality of purpose. The thing is, right, let's say a hammer was on this desk. You wouldn't be judging and ridiculing that. You'd be like, that'll be useful if I need it. It's in the toolbox. Yet you can use that to smash someone's skull in, or you can use that to build a house. Money's just a tool.
So do you talk to your partner about your finances? Or is it combined income?
So basically here's how it goes with me and my partner. I earn all the money. She raises the children and looks after the house and spends a lot of the fucking money. I love making money. Every time I make money, I tell her I make money, and then we fuck to celebrate. That's basically how it works. And I just think people just see money as evil and bad, but like, I love getting paid. I want to do meaningful stuff. I'm going to get paid. And like, by the way, I share everything with her, but good luck keeping a track on all the money I've got and all the watches I've got and all the art I've got and all the properties I've got. I mean, it takes a... And then we see money as good. And every time I get paid big, I want to get laid. Why not? Harry, his favourite saying is, get paid, get laid.
Do you?
Harry, you should have a podcast called Get Paid, Get Laid. That would go viral.
Sponsored by.
Yeah. But why is money? Money's just a fucking. Money's a hammer. Money is a spanner. Money's a tool.
Sorry, when you said hammer, I just think that you and your missus. So would you discuss your personal wealth with people if it is a taboo subject or at all?
So I've got friends who've lived in England and lived in America, and we talk about this no end. Because, you know, in England, we originate with tall poppy syndrome, which is whereby when anyone is successful, they are scythed down. Generally speaking, culturally, with our class system. In America, it depends on the state, but generally speaking, there's the American dream, and success and wealth is celebrated and seen in a very good light. So these are the cultural differences. I mean, I've really oversimplified it, but we'll be here all day otherwise. But, you know, so there's some cultural differences there. I don't see why in England we can't have the same cultural outlook on money as we do in America. I see no reason. So I'm open about talking about money. I'm open about showing wealth. I'm open about talking about it with my missus or anyone else. I mean, I'm also respect my privacy. People say to me, Rob, what's your net worth? And I say, don't be a nosy fucker. So I wasn't
going to do a dodge on you and try and press you and press you and press you. That was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Don't care if you're watching, by the way.
No, but I mean, that episode did quite well, though. I mean, I got a lot of haters from all the people that like to watch people put cocaine up their nose and whatever other demographic is being attracted. No disrespect to anyone, but, you know, I'm an entrepreneur, and yeah, he was bashing me, but a lot of the entrepreneurs loved it.
For what reason?
For what reason what?
Why was he bashing you?
I think he's just...
For views?
Look, Dodge is my friend.
Yeah.
Right? So I'll quite happily talk about anything. I'll call a spade, but Dodge is my friend. And what Dodge has done is he's evolved. I mean, he's an entrepreneur. He is.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, he is. He's an athlete and an entrepreneur. That's what he is. And he's a friend of mine from Clubhouse. And what he's done is he's starting to put content out there, and it's entrepreneurial. And then he's sort of, look at James English, and let's interview criminals and all that, and he's really found this niche, and he's sort of blown up quite quickly. And so, you know, him pressing me and all the criticism I'm getting, I just see it as a reflection of the demographic of people that are following him. I don't have any problem with it. Mm. If he had an entrepreneurial show and that interview was done, they would have all loved it. Mm-hmm. You know, why was he pressing me and pushing me? Yeah, like, we all have a different style. So, you know, when it comes to interviews, you know, I think you and I have a similar approach, which is ask good, thoughtful, concise questions and let the content flow. And then they turn into discussions, and then you become friends, and then they become conversations. But then you've got Piers Morgan, who's just fucking attack, fight, you know, media, newsjacking, attack, fight. Then you've got all these different types. And, you know, Dodge is just finding his interview style and finding his way. He's not been doing it all that long. And I just think, yeah, he's being combative because he's trying to hack some engagement. I don't really have a problem with it. Bring it on. But it's probably just not my favoured style. You know, like, the thing is, right, it's all shrouded in irony. Because I know for a God-given fact. So one of the criticisms I got on this episode was that I occasionally pay for podcast guests. Mm. If you had Arnold Schwarzenegger sat there, I'm fucking remortgaging my house to get him on my show.
As would I.
Yeah? And what's wrong with that? Now, look, I'd rather do them all for free. I'd rather do everything for free and everyone loves each other. But in reality, Bartlett is paying for everyone. And, you know, there's a competitive world going on. By the way, he doesn't admit that he does, but he does because I know he does. And so then you've Dodge is just trying to like, oh, well, what's Bartlett doing? Rob, talk about this. And then we get into a discussion and he's like, well, I would never pay for a guest or just never do that. You don't need to do that. You just want people, you know, to be here because they want to be here. Well, he lives in the fucking arse end of nowhere. It's really hard to get to. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. You're allowed your principles, but who's your favourite guest? Joe Rogan. Would you pay him 50 grand to be on the show? Oh, no. What about 20 grand? Oh, no. And I just think, you're bullshitting me. Because if Joe Rogan was sat there, he'd pay 20 grand. He's an entrepreneur. He runs a business. And this was the point I was trying to make. But each time we were making this point, he was interrupting me. And, you know, I say this to Harry, you know, what makes good content? Well, we can all argue over that. But what I don't like is when people don't let people talk. And what I don't like is you ask a question and then it's like, oh, but I'm like, fucking hell. Yeah, so that was just all going on the show. And I'd say it to his face, he's my friend. I'm not bitching about him. You just raised it that, you know, he did this episode. It did quite well, quite quickly. And he was a bit combative. And he was talking some shit, but he wouldn't admit it. He's like, oh, well, you know, I don't want nice cars. I'm like, okay, fair enough. And it's like chipping me away, you know, oh, look at Rob. Let's get Rob bragging about all of his cars. I respect your right to cry in your Skoda. So respect my right to have fun in my supercar collection. I don't really see where the problem is, but it's like, oh, well, you know, shouldn't want nice cars and things, even though he's got a fucking Range Rover Sport outside. So it's like... Anyway, I'm going to get in trouble, aren't I, Harry?
I didn't poke him, I swear.
Yeah, you did. So, what did you think of that episode and that interview?
I make no judgment, Rob.
Yes, you do. Come on, don't be a pussy.
No,
come on.
no. My thoughts on that, honestly.
Yeah, honestly.
Honestly, it wound me up. I had to turn it off.
Right.
It was one of the worst podcasts I've seen.
Right. Why?
Because it was obvious he was pressing for engagement. Mm. And I don't like, that's just not my style. Mm. Might be a really nice geezer. Mm. Nice fella.
Is.
But when people do that on podcasts, I turn it off. Mm. And that's not saying he's a bad podcast or not a bad person, but when people do that on podcasts, I shut down. Yeah. That's my opinion of it. Mm.
Yeah, and I think...
And it doesn't actually, not just him, that's across the board when I see it all, across any podcast. I have to turn it off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it annoyed me, it infuriated me, it really did.
Yeah, and...
Especially, not just the cars, the watches, I've got that. But with the mental health thing, he contradicted what he was saying. Mm. Especially with the money side. Mm. If he was that bothered about it, he wouldn't keep pressing about how much you paid him. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, he wouldn't let those things go. And I was trying to be respectful. And I said, look, I'll tell you these things off camera. Mm. And I had to literally get up and whisper it to shut him up, to be able to move on. Yeah, and you know, these things were, to a certain degree, quite sensitive. And, you know, you came here and said, is there anything you don't want to talk about? No, nothing. But I also like to think that I can trust you not to be a twat. and not to fucking set me up and create a load of bullshit. And so, we have good faith in the podcast world that we can have good, deep and meaningful conversations. But you also have to watch your back a bit.
Yeah.
And I'm not in the game of setting anyone up. Do I want engagement? Yes. Do I want virality? Yes. Do I want some spice? Yes. Do I want a really good interview? Yes. Do I want a bit of challenge and conflict? Yes. Do I want to set anyone up and make them look like a twat? No. Not interested. Not interested at all. You don't need to do that. Just fucking, just have a conversation with Chris Eubank. That's all you need to do. Because that shit is going viral left, right and centre.
Still.
And I like to think I was pretty sensitive in that interview. The guy's fucking been smashed around the head. He's clearly struggling. And, he was being a bastard to me. And I was trying to be firm and kind and, keeping it together. That's more what we should be doing. Just create great work. But we're all playing a game. See, I get the paradox because I don't really blame Dodge. Because we're in a world where algorithms are rewarding this vacuous nonsense. And the algorithms aren't rewarding quality.
But it comes down to purpose, does it not? Because you asked the question, why are you doing this podcast? But then you also asked, would you pay for the guest? And that's where you tied them in knots. It comes back to, yes, it rewards engagement, but the way you tied him up, no offence if you're watching, but you're not doing it for the right reason. That's where I turned it off.
Yeah, interesting. I know Dodge and I know what he is, and I don't have a problem with anyone or anything and what they are.
I'm not saying they're doing it for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
But how you orchestrated that was...
I fucking went down right to the arse end of the world, to go on his show, and he didn't pay me. And I did it, because he's a mate and he wants to get good engagement and I want to get out there more. So,
that was in relation to Chris Eubank. That was in relation to how you dealt with Chris Eubank. So yeah, it was interesting to watch. But mine's more about the purpose, the connection, the conversation, and what can potentially happen after. You never know.
Yeah.
So who would be your ideal guest?
Oh man, I love doing this. There's so many cool people I want to interview. I'd love to interview Joe Rogan, Donald Trump, Bill Gates. Fucking hell, that would fucking, if he's alive, who knows what's going on there. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Oprah Winfrey, Russell Brand. Yeah, the thing is, I want to have interesting conversations with interesting people. Mm-hmm. I'm not a fucking judge, jury and executioner, and I don't just want to interview all the people I'm a fan of. Mm-hmm. I don't just want to interview entrepreneurs. I'll interview billionaires and zeroers. I was showing you earlier a guy we're going to interview. Very left field interview, but really fucking interesting guy. Mm-hmm. So, oh man, we're always on it. We're agreed to go out and interview will.i.am. I just interviewed John Fury. So in a way, we're living our dream. We're getting to interview the people that I remember watching The Voice with my wife, and I fucking love will.i.am. What a legend will.i.am is, and we'll be flying out to interview him in San Francisco. So fucking hell, this is great. Arnie, come on. He's fucking flirting with us, Arnie is, because we talk to him and the team a lot. Just can't make it happen. Really want that one to happen. I'd love to interview Arnie. The Paul brothers. I've interviewed Jake, but that was remote. I'd like to interview Logan, but face to face. Yeah.
What's stopping with Arnie? What's stopping you with Arnie?
Life. Everyone's busy. Time. Money. I know I'll get him if we can align where we are in the world, but it's just so hard, isn't it? He's obviously over in America and he doesn't travel as much now. He's also just a big shot. If you want him, he's 500 grand. And he's not necessarily, because, of course he's going to do podcasts that, I'm sure he'd go on Joe Rogan and there would be no fee. But, if you want him to speak and you want him to travel, it's $500,000. Donald Trump, fucking hell. What a thoroughly interesting man. I know so many people hate him. Let's just transcend judgment. What a thoroughly interesting man. I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Soon, mate. No doubt.
We got some connections there. We're always trying to hustle and make things happen, as you know. I'm getting myself out there and more on shows now because, you know, sometimes I'm like, I don't need to go and do the podcast circuit. You know, I'm already successful in business. I made a load of money. But in a way, that's a bit arrogant. You know, yeah, I'm a very successful person. Most of these people are going viral on the internet. They haven't done half of what I've done. But you got to earn your stripes. So I'm not saying I'm a hoe, but I will go on a few shows, and I will be a bit more open to that now, rather than I'm too important. I'm only going to go on a couple of shows. So yeah, we're hustling. We want to make shit happen. We want to take over the world.
So what's the next sort of like 5 years look like for you?
I'm going to write a lot of books on money. So I've got a clear goal for the next 6 years, which is to become the most recognised / useful specialist on the subject of money. It's not just about influence and celebrityism, but you know, if you think about what people in the world are well known for, things like David Attenborough is well known for wildlife. I'm going to be the guy that is the most well known for doing useful things on this earth around money by the time I'm 50. So I'm 44. And I do a lot of things, and sometimes I'm a bit distracted, but I've got a lot of money. I've had 17 years of warming up and practice, and I know a lot about money. And I'm, you know, obviously starting to leverage a little bit more on the internet. So, I mean, I've just finished Money Matrix, my 19th book. Money Loves You is the 20th that I'm writing. I might write a book called Money Matters. I've got a few books all in the pipeline. I might launch, you know, maybe one every year to 18 months. So that's my my goal to turn 50.
I've got 2 more questions. I can't wait to achieve it, by the way. Is there someone that you haven't had a conversation with that you need to have a conversation with? If so, why haven't you had that conversation?
I mean, you know, I need to have more conversations with my dad because he's 80 years old, and I don't know how many more conversations I've got with him. So that's definitely something that I need to do.
What conversations do you need to have with him?
How's the cricket? How's the rugby? You know, my dad just loves sport, and he's not so mobile now, and he's had really bad mental health issues, is on a lot of drugs. You know, it's just about being with him and, you know, chatting to him. So I think we're off out for dinner soon. My mum's coming over tomorrow. So on an ongoing basis, because the thing is, right, we think about years, but like I might only have 3 more times that I see my dad before he's dead. You know, we think years, but it's times, isn't it? Like, how many times am I going to see you again before you die and I die? It might only be 3 or 4. We don't know. So we take time for granted. So that's one. I mean, look, there's always shit going on. There's some guy right now who's a good friend of mine who's being juvenile and got really pissed off with me for something that's completely fixable if you just talk on the phone, blocked me on all channels, getting the lawyers involved, and he just needs to pick up the phone and have a conversation with me, because if he starts lawyering up, like, I'm in business with one of the smartest guys in the country when it comes to law, and we have one of the most brutal lawyers in this country. And I've got a good mate who I'm doing work with, who's obviously got shit going on in his life, and something's upset him, and it's fixable and solvable, and he just needs to pick up the phone, and he's fucking blocked me on everything. That's another person I need to have a conversation with. I'm even getting other people's phones and phoning him, because he can't block everyone. I'm like, look, mate, come on. What's up? How can I help? You know, what's going on? We're friends. Yeah, I won't mention his name though, because
I was just about to say, Sissy, this is what you don't do, Dodge.
Press
for a name.
I won't mention his name because it's not respectful, and you're asking me in good faith, and you know, people are going through shit. He goes through a lot of shit. He's got a hard life, and we're always there for each other and helping each other. It's just he's had a bit of a meltdown, and he just needs a cuddle.
Anyone else?
No, I mean, that'll do. I mean, look, we don't talk, you know, in our relationships, you know, with our staff and, you know, with our husbands and wives, you know, communication does really help. And, you know, my wife and I have been together 17 years. We've had some ups and downs, probably more ups than downs. She's pretty solid and steady and really good for me. But our relationship gets affected when we don't talk enough. And she's a bottler. She doesn't really like to talk. She's a practical person. Let's just get on and do it. She doesn't like too much therapy and emotion and chat. I'm almost like the woman and she's like the man. I'm like, oh, we need to talk, we need to talk, we need to talk. So, yeah.
Would you be where you are today if it weren't for your wife?
No, absolutely not. Teamwork makes the dream work. And, you know, I wouldn't say I'm traditional in the sense that I go to work and she stays at home. But in some way I am a bit traditional in that a family dynamic is a team. And it's not good for the family if you both have to go out to work and you have to work 60 hours a week. It's not good for raising the kids. You know, if two of you are doing the same thing, one of you isn't needed. If you're both entrepreneurs, I remember, I saw this interview, right? I mean, there's some shit out there. I saw this interview of a lady. She was so rigid up her own arse. It's like, fucking hell, you need to fucking... And she's like, when I date, I want to see bank statements. And she's like, I only date Jewish men and I want to see bank statements. And this guy's like, what? She's like, yeah, on a second or third date, I'm asking for bank statements. You know, because I'm a high value woman and I earn really good money and he has to too. And I'm just like, for fuck's sake. Each to their own, fair enough. But get over yourself. There's nothing wrong with a good wife who runs a good home and raises good kids and a good man who goes out to battle and earns good money. What's fucking wrong with that? Why is that all so wrong? But here's the problem. It's all linked. Because the banks are getting you into debt and now you need two fucking people earning just to pay for one mortgage. So 100 years ago, one man on a humble salary going to work for Ford could feed his whole family. Now, two people need to earn 60 grand a year just to keep up with rents and inflation. So it's also a societal thing. But I'm proud of the fact that my wife and I have worked together. And by the way, she's no gold digger. She got with me when I was, you know, all potential, but I wasn't rich. And no, I wouldn't be anywhere near without her. She keeps me on the straight and narrow. Sometimes do fucking crazy things. And she's just good at, you know, keeping the team going.
And do you feel accepted now? When you perhaps didn't?
Well, yes and no. I mean, when you meet new people, you don't know them and you don't necessarily feel accepted. I feel I'm valuable and useful, so that breeds confidence. I feel like the empty void is being filled. I feel like I'm doing meaningful work. You know, like sometimes when I go and meet new people, I'm sort of like, especially in business, you know, the networking, but it can be a bit like trying to impress people and all that sort of stuff. And, you know, to a certain degree, there's got to be a bit of that. But sometimes I challenge myself to just go and meet people and just listen. Not trying to impress anyone, not trying to be anything or do anything. You know, it takes a lot of confidence in yourself to know who you are, to be around a lot of people without, you know, fucking peacocking. But there's nothing wrong with a bit of hustle and a bit of peacocking. Because, you know, someone asked me about public speaking. And, you know, should you just be yourself and be authentic? Yeah, but you should also put on a show. And you should also learn good skills of public speaking. And you are also entertaining. So I understand the paradox of that. So sometimes you're out there, you're networking, you're hustling, you're impressing, you're peacocking. And then sometimes you're just like, I'm just going to fucking be me. And that's an ongoing paradox for me.
Is that what's driving potentially these insecurities that you have? Because I believe everyone has them.
Yeah, I mean, insecurities are useful. If I wasn't insecure, I might not keep myself safe. So if I'm insecure about how you might judge me, I might look to improve the situation. Therefore, it might be useful to me. So people think, right, life is good, life is bad, life is right, life is wrong. No, all emotions are useful. Guilt is useful. Shame is useful. Like, you know, if you want to make money, the best emotion is shame. Because you're going to fucking do whatever it takes to get out of that situation. So you just got to understand what emotions are and how to use them. So, have I got insecurities? Yeah.
What are they?
I like my face, I don't like my legs. I've got fucking chicken legs, so I never wear shorts.
Need a new PT then.
Yeah. Honestly, you could be the best PT in the world, and you fucking good luck working on my legs.
What else?
I think I have food-related insecurities in that I know that I'm reasonably fit, reasonably in good shape. Well, I'm actually in really good shape, but I often look at my body and I still see a fat guy, even though I'm not. I'm not ripped, but I'm not in bad shape. I'm 44, you know, I'm fucking fighting against nature here. But as you know, I had a fight and I was fucking fit, strong, fast. I go to do all this high rocks training and I beat all the fucking kids who are 21 and 23. But, you know, a lot of that is my drive. But yes, I definitely have some insecurity around how I feel about my body. I mean, I don't really have much fear of judgment and ridicule because I've been doing this 17 years. You can say what you want on a podcast. You can say what you want on my YouTube videos. You can troll me to fuck. I really couldn't give a shit. I know who I am. I know what I'm doing. This is where I'm going. You can fight me or resist me. You know, all your haters. I mean, jealousy, it's just desire. All your haters who are jealous, they just want what you've got. So I don't really have those kind of insecurities. I mean, I don't want to go around being a dick. And so I suppose I'm a bit insecure about upsetting people. But I, in a way, I think that's good. Because if you just go around upsetting people because you have no insecurities and you're being your authentic self, you can end up acting like a dick.
What was going through your mind then when you mentioned the food? Insecurity. You was thinking about that for quite a long time.
Yeah, well, like, you know, I haven't got tits. I've got like a B cup. And I'd quite like to have a plate of muscle. I'm not fat at all, but, you know, there's an inch. And this is all back from, you know, when I was a kid and the paranoia about... It was weird because I was fat and I lost all the weight. And then when I lost all the weight, I remember one guy, I took my top off, right? And he knew I was fat and I'd lost weight. And he looked at me and went, fucking hell, you're the fattest skinny guy I've ever seen. And you know what it's like when people lose weight really quickly. You know, their body is still trying to catch up. And so you have a bit of saggy skin and you've lost weight, but you're not like a fucking Greek statue. And I'm like, and it really cut deep. And that just still stays with me. So I'd say that's an insecurity. I mean, look, I don't like being late. So I was a bit annoyed that we made you wait. I'm trying to do meaningful stuff, but I don't like letting people down. And that can sometimes weigh on you. I think it's good to not want to be late and respect people's time. I don't care who you are. You treat people well on the way up, and we always try. You know, we're here for fucking 2 hours. I'm obviously trying to give as much as I can. Could just be trying to send you out and go home. I don't want to do that. But no, I don't like being late, and I don't like letting people down. And I think it's good, but there is obviously some insecurity about that there.
I can certainly resonate with both of them. Yeah, absolutely. My final question, probably the most important one of the podcast. Have they fixed the potholes?
Look, these are first world problems, but I have fucking 8 supercars. And I cannot drive down my street. Like, I have to drive in the middle of the road. Is this not right, Harry? You know, on Thorpe Road. To drive down the middle of the road to miss all the fucking potholes. First world problems.
Rob, it's been brilliant.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming to the studio. So this is round 2, isn't it?
Round 2.
All right,
Round 2.
bosh.
Thank you.
It's all right.